For today's training, I wanted to share this awesome free website that has everything that you need to know about maps for the United States. And the name of this website is mapofus.org. And this is the home page. And I wanted to show you, this just tells you a little bit about maps and why you want to use maps to help in your genealogy research. Just says that genealogists should not ignore map resources and all that they have to offer, as a map can immediately provide valuable information and facts. For example, many historical maps show distinct buildings, and these are especially helpful because they also record owners' names and with features within the local communities. And that's really true about historical maps. You can look at a map and find a lot of times the owners' names of the different properties right there on the historical map. But this has more than historical maps. This has maps of each state, and you can actually go to them by clicking here. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and show you these different tabs at the top, and then we'll go ahead and look at some of the maps. So first off, we're just here on the home page. Now I'm going to click right to the right of that is types of maps, and this will go over the different types of maps. So if you don't understand maps, this would be good just to read through. There's political maps, survey plat maps, and land maps, ward maps, and these were just different maps taken for different census. Remember, I don't know if you've looked at census records. Sometimes they'll say they're in this ward or district, and that's what those maps are. There's fire insurance maps, and these can be really super helpful, and they're really good maps too. Atlases and road maps, topographical maps, surveys, plat books, city directory maps. So there's a lot of different maps, and you may find one that just will really help you in your research. So that's just explaining the different types of maps. The next tab is US maps. And so these are just maps of the United States. And if you just scroll down, we'll go ahead and go over these. You first have an interactive map of the US state formation history. And so this is the first. If you look at this right here, it says United States 1776, and this is the original 13 colonies. So those would show you the colonies, and then you can just start clicking on these different years below that to see how it changed. So let's see if we click 1777, not a lot of change. 1783, it tells you, the boundaries of U.S. as set by the Treaty of Paris, claims to western lands by Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York. So you can kind of see how the states were formed and when they became states. Just by clicking on these different dates, it'll tell you for 1792, the mission of Kentucky. So anyway, this is really fun to see how it formed, and you might click on a year and realize, oh, let's see, like I think if we click on 1853, that's when Utah was a territory before it actually became a state. So just a fun way and a really quick way to look at the formation of the United States and the states. So there's also the Utah County formation maps between census years that you can click on that. Antique atlases and maps of the United States. So these are really fun. Here's 1776 North America antique map. And it's pretty big, but you can look through this and see the different information that you get from those. Like here's an 1880 map of the United States. And then here's just other United States map links. So just some things to look through, might be fun to browse through if you really do like maps, or if you're not aware of all the things that you can find on maps. This would be a really fun thing to come and look through, and it really will help you too with your own research and also helping other people. So that is US maps. And let me show you before we leave this page too. Like I said, on the first page, you can click on on the home page, you can click on a state and it'll come right up. Or over here on the left-hand side, it shows different maps of the different states. So Alabama, Delaware, Florida, and then I think it has all of the maps, and some of them just say that it starts like Oklahoma from 1819. So let's just click on this because I really like this when you're working in a specific state with your ancestors. Let's click on the map of Alabama. Okay, and this will tell you they really have done a great job of trying to show you all the things, pull all of the information from Alabama to this one page. And this even shows the states that are bordering Alabama. And that's really helpful because sometimes I'm like, okay, so they're down here at the bottom of Alabama. Did they go into Florida or where were they? But this actually, this is the part I really like. I like a lot of it, but this is my favorite part, I guess I would say. This is the interactive map of Alabama counties formation. And this was made possible through Annie Map. This is something that I used years ago, and I looked for it recently and couldn't find it. It was something you had to buy, but now they just have it available here, which is awesome. So what this is this is kind of like the United States one I showed you, where this is 1799 in Alabama, and this shows the different territories and just anyway what the state of Alabama looked like in 1799. And so if we go across, like let's look at 1800, it'll quickly show you how that changed. Let's click over to maybe 1812. Hey, so this shows you there's some Cherokee, some Indian lands, but then also some of the counties were starting to form. So in 1812, there's not very many counties. Let's go a little bit further, 1823. There you can see that there's more and more counties that were formed. Let's see, by 1850, they're pretty much all formed. And then if you keep going, and then like here's DeKalb gained from Jackson County. So you just watch up here, and then you can also just click next to see up here at the top. You can click next. You can also click this play button, and it'll go through and show the counties through time and go through it. So anyway, see right here, it shows what's really good about this is like you might be in one county. Maybe you found an ancestor to Hancock County in like 1850, and then all of a sudden in 1860, you can't find them, or they're in a Winston, and be like, well, how far is that from Hancock? And as you can see here, Hancock name changed to Winston, Benton changed to Calhoun, and then it'll just tell you the changes. So I think that's so important for when you're doing research in a certain area, especially as you get back in the early years too. It's really, really helpful. And if you look below, so below these different years, the county formation years, there's also Alabama census years with modern map overlaid. So let's look at one of those. Let's look at 1850 and see what that shows. So it says the modern map is overlaid. So as you can see, it's kind of hard, but there's little lines here, and it just shows that this is the 1850. That's hard to. I clicked the 1850, and then this shows the modern county. So this is like what it is today and what it was earlier. So as you can see with the light ones underneath, it really changes a lot, and it's really helpful to look at those. And so I wanted to show you too, up here you just have the abbreviations for the counties, and if you look down below, they're right here. So not hard to find. You don't have to go off and find out what those abbreviations are for. Okay, and then I wanted to show you just down here too, there's old antique atlases and maps of Alabama. So here's some of the old maps. So, and then there's also this county road and highway maps. I clicked on some of those and they weren't working, and so some of them may not be working right now. But you can check that on the state that you're working in. And then here's also some Alabama map links. So I love this site because they've just tried to pull everything together that they can on this one site. And that is awesome because sometimes it's hard to go and find things that you're looking for, or also you don't know what you're looking for sometime, right? So this is just awesome. I would really, if you're doing research in a certain state, really look at this. It may just solve some different problems that you've had or some roadblocks. All right, so that's U.S. maps. I wanted to show you historical maps are right here. I guess historical atlases. And so there's a lot. There's, different years, like 1776 American Atlas map. And there's also shows, like the British Empire, what they owned. 1795, 1804, 1814. There's also 1814 Europe Atlas map. So these would be interesting. Let me click on one. Let's click on this British Empire. I haven't really looked at that, but this, okay, so it shows the British Empire in North America. So you can look at that and see what they owned at that time. Okay, so anyway, fun atlas maps. And then the other one here is the military battle maps. And I believe these are, let's see what these are. There's like battle map of Lexington, Concord, and Bunker Hill. And then right here is the American Civil War, and it says that those are coming soon. So something that looks like that they're working on. And then they have a blog that shows, they just have, it's just whatever they've put on for that. I'm not sure how often they update their blog, but that may be something that you want to look at. And if you have any questions, you can always contact them. So anyway, take a look at this. I think you're going to love it. It's, again, mapofus.org. And I hope you have a great day today.